Welcome back, Mathies, to another episode of Math with Dr. Math. And today we're going to talk about this idea called the weighted mean. All right, and we got a good, I think it's a real life problem here, because we're going to talk about someone working multiple jobs and thinking about on average how much do they make. And then at the end of the video, I'll give you some creative tips of some things that I do that help that average, right, go up. And what do you mean that average go up in terms of how much you make per hour? We'll talk about some creativity at the end of the video, so stick around. All right, Matthew, so let's look at this problem, right? Because if you're anything like me, you know about working multiple jobs, right? So Rachel here, she worked 3 part-time jobs last week, right? At one of the jobs, she worked 20 hours at a salary of $12 per hour, right? And at another job, she worked 10 hours for $15 per hour, excuse me. And that last job, she worked for 12 hours, earning $10 per hour, right? And I don't know where you're listening to this from, but this is real life for so many people around here. I'm in California, and this is really hard right here, right? This is really tough, especially during times like these. So what we're going to do is we're going to calculate her mean hourly wage. All right, and if you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, because again, we're trying to help out as many people as we can here in Dr. Math Studios. All right, so let's check this out. So when we're finding the weighted mean, what we're trying to do is trying to find like the overall average when, in this case, all her wages, they're not equal, they're not the same. So we're trying to find an average for all these various rates. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this. We're gonna take that first job, and remember that first job, she's working 20 hours, and she's earning $12 per hour. So when I multiply those two, that's gonna tell us how much she earned at that first job, right? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna add it to how much she worked at that second job, right? So we're gonna take that 10 and we're gonna multiply that times 15. So that right there is gonna represent her total for that second job. And then we have she worked 12 hours at $10 an hour for that third job. So when we add all those, right, those three, right, these 3 things right here, these products, what we're gonna see is that's gonna give us the total amount of money that she made. Well, if we wanna find out how much is she making on average per hour, well, what we do is we divide that by the number of hours that she worked, right? So for the first job, she worked 20 hours, excuse me. That second job, she worked 10 hours, so we're at 30, and then she worked another 12 hours at the last job. So in total, she worked 42 hours. So that's what we're gonna divide by, all right? So we're gonna divide by by 42, and then we're gonna go ahead and multiply 20 times 12, we're gonna get that. Then we're gonna multiply 10 times 15, which is 150, and then we're gonna multiply 12 times 10, which is 120, and we're gonna add up those 3 answers. And so when we do that, we get 510, all right? So from those 3 jobs, she made $510 in total. So we're gonna divide that by the 42 hours, and that's gonna give us how much money she made per hour, and that's what we're looking for on average. So we do that, and we're gonna get that she made $12.14 per hour. All right, so whenever we're talking about the weighted mean, that's gonna be our approach. And some things that people get confused by is they're like, wait, how did I know how much, what to divide by? And so what I'm gonna tell you is, since we're looking at finding how much money she made per hour, right? So usually whatever follows after the word per, which is hour, that's what we're dividing by, the total amount of hours. So just remember that, because again, these situations can change. So hopefully that made sense. And what I wanna do now is I wanna look at, well, what happens, what do you mean be more creative and move this up? So one thing that I do is, let's say if you're in a situation where you're saving your money, or maybe you don't need that money right now, let me pull up on my screen. What you're gonna see is an example of an investment. So, and some people, what they'll do is they want to buy like that new iPhone, the new iPhone 12. And I was tempted in December to buy that new iPhone because I record these videos on my iPhone. But instead, I held off, right? And instead of buying the iPhone, I invested it in this stock, right, which you're seeing here on the screen. And 3 months later, you could see how much percentage that this stock went up. I'm not saying go out there and buy individual stocks. Maybe you want to buy ETFs, but there's ways that you could invest your money that'll make your money grow, right? So that's something, this isn't financial advice, I'm not your financial advisor, but I would say go out and learn about finances, because so much of what we do in math should be helping you live a better life, make better decisions. So I would say go learn about investments. If that's something you want to learn more of, or us to talk more of in terms of this channel, let us know. But check that out. Instead of buying that iPhone, right? In this case, I'm not saying this is good. This is not going to happen every time. But in this case, that amount of cash went up 200%. Of course, that's not going to happen. Not even half the amount of times. But again, if you're doing things wisely, it will grow. And as a result, this $12 might look like something much different. All right, mathletes, just something to think about, some food for thought. I'm hoping you're having a great day. If you haven't done so, help us out, subscribe to the channel, like, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. All right, mathletes, thanks for watching. And again, if you like this video, we have some other videos that we think you might enjoy. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.